And we're back for on Friday in the land down under, Thomas, for the Black Caviar Lightning Stakes, Group 1. What's the excitement about with that one?
Well, it's a 5 furlong race. It's generally separates the super sprinters from the ones who want to go a little longer.
So you find out who's fast and who's not.
Well, I mean, these horses do run at longer distances, but if you go as you went through their past performances, you can see some of them are really excel at this distance. And anything farther, they're not so good.
Yes, they run out of stamina, sort of like me when I went past, like, I don't know, like 60 yards or 70 back in the day playing football in high school. Well, we're going to do 5 races today. Tomorrow we got 6 stakes races over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. It is the Risen Star, one of the first very big qualifiers down in the Big Easy, New Orleans, at Fairgrounds. Perhaps some Kentucky Derby, real contenders in this one. You get that over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below, as well as some free picks today. You'll find that as pretty much as we usually do on Friday nights. Give somebody some fun in the lights at Charlestown in West Virginia. Thomas, have you ever been to Charlestown Racetrack?
I have not.
Nor have I. Perhaps we should put it on our itinerary. I did see our good friend from days past on her website, on her Twitter fight. Did you see the naked guy running down the front stretch on Charlestown? Was like -7 out.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, hilarious. Friday night racing. So tune in. You never know what you're going to get at Charlestown. Waiting, we're coming right now, my man. Here we go. So we're going to do Flemington. The races are this evening. The first race that we're going to do, and I know I'll be up for this. This is the pre-party racing. The Francis Tressady Stakes. This is 9:20 p.m. Eastern. The Francis Tressady Stakes are going to cover 1,400 meters. I should note that right now the track is rated good 4, but it is raining a touch there. So a chance it gets downgraded. Like last week, we got upgraded at Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And we did.
Didn't screw my handicapping up, but we did get upgraded.
Yeah, we had a bunch of winners, you and I, last week. In
fact,
I can't remember.
I had 2 on top. One was a decent price. What, 11-1.
Yeah, I struggle to remember.
I'm not complaining.
Nah. And it doesn't help you if you do, as they say. All right, so this one's going to be, as I mentioned, 1,400 meters. So they're going to start here in this little chute. They're going to work their way around this way. It would be really great if they went this way and then turned that way, Tom. I think that would make for a hell of a horse race, but we're not going to get that here. Coming into this turn right away, like sweeping immediately, Thomas, does that favor horses to the inside, to the outside, or no BFD?
Yeah, well, Flemington is where they run the Melbourne Cup, and this is a sweeping turn.
So coming out of that chute, does it help? Does it hurt?
No, not really.
No.
And this is not a big field either. So
let's take a look at how they are expected to line up when the going gets going. Plenty of horses in here. They're running backwards today that have some early speed. You have 3 of them in here, the 4, the 6, and the 3. And then as they settle in to make their way through that turn, does look like most of the field is middle forward. So maybe with a little bit of late legs could be useful in here. And then as they come down the stretch, a trio once again have a little bit more late speed than the rest, but really not a big gap. Looks like the biggest gaps are early on, Tom. So maybe get to the front, maybe have a chance. Who do you think has the best?
I'm going to start with number 6. Whistler Lass is my top choice. She's coming into the race off a barrier trial where she ran 4th. Yeah, she may need a race. This is my concern, but she's won at this level before, and this distance she's 4 wins from 6 starts. That tells me she likes this distance. So if she's freshened up enough, it could be good. Her last races, negative comments, but they were run at 1,600 meters, 2,040 meters, and 2,000 meters. I don't think that's her. Those are her distances. I think she wants this kind of race, and yeah, she's 2 for 4 in the Group 3 level. So I mean, it's not like she hasn't won at this level. So we'll see what she can do.
Just hasn't won at the track yet, so you're gonna have to make that go.
No, she has not. Fancy. I don't know. 3. Fancify. I'll go with that. I think she's a lone speed. And she's won in place twice at this level. She led in her last race. She had a clear margin and got caught. Lower level races, a couple starts back. She was used early, maintained the lead, and then really used hard at the end. They commented on that race. The reason I mentioned that race was because they commented that the post-race recovery was slow. So she was definitely taxed, and that may have been the results of the race before. She's good at this distance. She's 4 for 5. Just needs the infamous sensible pace to get a chance. Now my last horse was scratched, so my 4th pick was number 4, Minerva Rose, and I don't have any comments about it.
Yes, so plenty of ammo. Ran out of ammo for Thomas today with his.
Apparently, yes.
Yes. I'm going to start off. We have a lot of similar picks and some similar thoughts today. I have Fancify. That's my first choice. Pretty chalky in here. I got some shots coming up, though. This one's likely to be better in the second start after a layoff. You see right here, decent second up record. As you mentioned, Tom, the distance works. Check this out. 5 times out, 4 of them in the winner's enclosure, and then 2 of them at the track, both of them in the winner's enclosure. And as you mentioned, this is a speedster. I even wrote that down in my notes before you brought that up.
Yeah, and she tends to like this kind of surface, and she even likes a little softer. So that also doesn't hurt her any.
Wish for last, but we just reversed our top 2 picks in there, Tom. It's probably today or nada, as I wrote in my notes. This horse runs the best off the bench and does pretty well at the distance, winning 4 of 6. Looks like it runs better in second up, good in second ups too, but it just looks to me like when you look through the times and so forth, the best of them are after some.
And this distance I think, favors her.
Flying Fizz, since I have plenty of ammo in my quill today. The last race was a lot better than it looks. If you look at the final time, it was much quicker than the previous time it ran at the same distance. That's almost always a hint, at least a very big statement that the horse is getting into form. And then finally, the 8 horse, right to that one's outside, at least here. Capricorn Star, there's a bomb for you. 51-1. And I find this one interesting, Tom, because horse finished kind of okay in its last race. And they take it from like a $50,000 race to a $200,000 race. Is it just wishful thinking, or do the connections actually see something that merits such a strange move up in class? I don't know.
The bettors don't think so.
Well, they're not the ones that matter, Tom. It's the horse. Yeah. The bettors do matter, but not really.
Well, for the price, they matter, but not in terms of.
I mean, obviously, sometimes in my picks, you know for damn sure the bettors don't matter. I tried something different yesterday at Gulfstream Park, and I mentioned that at the show, and it didn't come to fruition until the end, right? Trying to find, using that data sheet that we have, that just finally got it to look right. Thank God for that. I mean, just constant struggle to get this stuff right, but using it to find some more long shots to win contests and so forth. And I think maybe I found some of the combinations. So I think you'll see more long shot picks coming from me as we do our shows Monday through Thursday. Hopefully I am correct so that I'm not made fun of for my picks. All right, Tom. Next for you and me is going to be, we're going to skip forward a little bit to race number 6. It's the Elms Handicap. This one is going to be 1,400 meters again. So we're going to start back here again, sweeping turn, coming around to that finish line. This one will go off at 11:05 p.m. Eastern, 10:05 where Thomas and I live in Central Time Zone. I already mentioned, Tom, that we don't think the turn makes much of a difference, but let's take a look at the speed map, see if there are any in-race advantages. And it does look like Buffalo River and Rise at Dawn, they have a pretty aggressive early pace edge over everybody else. You disagree with anything you see here?
No, I do not.
Settling position, well, most of these horses want to be middle back. Maybe speed can hold on in this particular spot, Tom, and we'll find out if any of them has enough late speed. Looks like of those two speedsters, Buffalo River probably going to tire out, but the rest of them pretty much in the same zip code coming down the stretch. Considering that race shape, I would definitely think middle forward would be a positive place to be. Who do you think will be in the winner's enclosure when it's all done, Tom?
I start with number 7. It's a Wild Night. I ran him at longer distances and in his last 2 starts before the layoff, and he didn't do much. He's won 4 times at this distance, but not beyond. So obviously this is better. He's won first up before. He's interestingly enough, when he's second up, he's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
So maybe wait. I don't know.
Maybe they faked him out.
I'm going to put him on top anyways. I like his, and the reason I put him on top is his barrier trial was a good run, and the numbers are good. He ran second in that barrier trial, and he was facing a pretty good horse. We'll see what he does because of the record and in this at this distance. I am going to take one of the speed ones. I think is a little better. Is number 6, Rise at Dawn. This is definitely an improving horse. One of his last 3 starts, they were at a little longer distances, but he's won 2 out of 3 at 1,400 meters. So he's been the good. He fought off the challenge last time out to win. That was at 1,700. He comes into this race, bit of a layoff. So we'll see. Are they starting to build, or are they going off what the horse has been doing? The record, bigger record is that 7 wins out of 12 starts. That's not bad. Number 4, Clorton Lane is going to be my final choice. 7 days ago, ran in a Group 3 and ran 3rd. That was at 1,600 meters. This distance, this horse is really interesting because it's only been out of the money once in 13 starts. So the quick turnaround may not matter because they have turned this horse around quick too. If the going's got to be good, that's one thing. Is it? We'll see. I mean, he excels at this distance. There's no question. With that record in the money, I couldn't leave him off my ticket.
Well, once again, we flip-flopped our top 2 picks, Thomas, and then we settled on the same one in 3rd. So, folks, run like hell tonight from anything that we have, because when we cross our Ghostbuster beams, y'all are in trouble. Number 6 for me, Rise at Dawn, was the first one on my ticket, Thomas. This one has made a couple of first starts off the bench like today, and guess what he did? Won the both of them. Loves the distance, loves the track. Just hasn't run at the distance at the track. I can imagine that they'll probably go together today. It's a Wild Night was your first pick. No, it's my second pick, and there the 7 horse at 13-1 right now, as you pointed out. That distance sure does work, Tom. 5 times, 4 of them hitting the tape first. And if the track downgrades at all because of the rain, it ain't no big deal because he has run well on soft as well as good. If it gets heavy, he still runs well. So this guy can get the job done regardless.
Looks very versatile.
Yes, indeed. Footing doesn't bother him at all. Not distracted. We have the 3rd horse the same, Charlton Lane. That one looks like right now it's the co-favorite or the favorite. Cutting back in distance will help out to a distance, as you rightfully pointed out, Tom, where 12 out of 13 races finished in the trifecta. If you're the owner of that horse, you're certainly pleased with that sort of check cashing ability. And then finally, number 5, Aztec Ruler will be closing. It's another one that, regardless of the surface, will do well. Second in its only run at the track, and another one that seems to prefer the quirky distance, finishing in the money 75% of the time. I will take that as well if I were an owner. We'll also take our talents off, Tom, to the next race. That's race number 7. Obviously, clicking buttons is not one of my talents as I fumble around on my computer trying to find us so that I can put the right stuff up on the screen, Tom. Let's see if I can get there. Where is it? Where did it go? Hold on a second. Terrible. There we go.
Ran away with the spoon.
Race 7. I don't know what the hell's going on. This one is the Hayes, CS Hayes Stakes. I guess they don't have any other distance today, Tom. 1,400 meters again. By now, you know they're going to come out of that chute, run around that turn, head their way home. As Tom pointed out earlier, he doesn't think that turn makes that big of a difference to post positions. Positioning does always, in my opinion, have a importance on that.
But I'll preface that by saying field size, and this is one of the bigger fields.
So inside would be better, you feel like, here, or outside?
Well, I mean, we've dealt with relatively short fields. Now we got a big field.
Got a lot of speed in this one too. It looks like it's pretty much speed or close, really nothing in the middle. So this one should be kind of hot early, and we see that is the case with the leaders up here. A lot of horses middle forward. This one right here all by itself, that one might get a great trip because if this half dozen goes too fast, can pull up on him. If they go too slow, he's going to get the jump on the rest of these. So keep an eye out for number 5, just from a positioning standpoint. The closing speed, there'll be a stampede heading for home as some of the speed starts to fade. The closers kick it in. Oh, Thomas, this one looks like it can go a whole lot of different ways. Speed or closer? Which way did you go?
Closer. Took number 3. I thought there was a lot of speed in this race. That's why I favored number 3. But he won his last 3 races, a little shorter distances. Had to work hard. Last time out, but that was a Group 3 race and makes one big run, and I think he'll benefit from that distance. And they must think this horse has got talent because they went from a benchmark 64 race to a Group 3. That's a big jump. Mm-hmm. And he won. So I think adding the distance and his running style, I think he may get his 4th victory. I'm going to take number 6, Feroci. My next choice returns to the race after barrier trial. I ran second in that one. He's never won a group race, but he's placed in a couple races. And he's been at the Group 1 level he placed in, and he also placed at the Group 3 level. So he's tried this distance twice, and, well, yeah, he's failed. But they must see something, because the barrier trial is at 1,200 meters. So I'm going to go with what maybe they got something going here. And they like the barrier trial, and he does like to run the money. So let's see him do that. Finally, I'm going to take number 8, Ndola, my final choice. After the layoff, he did absolutely nothing in his race. And the comment from the jockey was important to me. He said he would benefit from the start. I hope so, because I'm putting him in there for 3rd. He didn't break well in the race. He settled in the back, made a little forward move in that last race, and then finished that last out of 7. He's 1 for 1 at this distance at a lower level. If and truly he has benefited from that last race, got to think maybe outside post position is a bit of a negative.
Not so good. Well, we have some different thoughts on this one. We only agree on one this time around, Thomas. And I felt like when I was going through the handicapping that this race can go a zillion and one different ways. I went with Seppels, number 14, as my top choice. This one won both of the races at the distance. And last time out, cut off more than a second. That's usually, again, I mentioned, when those times go down, it usually means the fitness is going up. Royal Insignia, the 3-horse. Well, you had that one, right?
Yes, I had that one.
So we do have some agreement in here. 2 out of 3. All right, never mind. I'm expecting a better performance today in the 2nd round off the sidelines. As you already pointed out, Tom, on the good surface, 4 times out, 3 wins. We just don't know what happens if it gets to the soft. Number 8, another agreement for Tom and I. What in the hell is going on here? Ndola. Another that could be better in the second start after a layoff. The last race was a touch better than it looks. Didn't win its only race at the distance, but finished out of the money in its only race at the track. Hopefully, the distance is more important than the whereabouts. And then finally, number 7, Stay Focused is my final choice at 9-1. I can't get past the fact that when I looked at the times for the last couple of races, when I compared distance to distance, this one ran much faster than it has before. And I think if it improves off of that, that might actually end up being your winner. Next up, Tom, 2 races to go for you and I this week. Unfortunately, we're going to be off the next couple of weeks because pitchers, catchers, Tom, and family report soon.
Yep. Well, they already reported.
Yes.
I'll just start those games.
Yeah, but you're a position player. You're coming in right from there. This is the one that all come into the
I'm more in favor of the weather. Mid-70s somehow seems a lot more appealing than what we got right now.
Holy hell, isn't that the truth? And it's only going to get worse in Chicago. We get 4, 5, 6 inches of snow the other day. Then the temperature dropped. And now after tomorrow, it's supposed to be single digits for a couple of days in a row and below 0. I did not know that we lived in Siberia, Thomas.
At times we do.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And if the wind comes off the lake, it makes it even more pleasant.
Oh, yeah. Well, fortunately, most of the time it's blowing west to east, not the other way around. But the folks on the other side of the lake, they get, like in Indiana, you see some images of the lake effect snow that they get. We don't get anything here. Then over there, they got enough snow that they can build their houses out of, they can live in igloos. So race 8's the one that they're coming for. That is the $1 million Australian. Black Caviar Lightning. You pointed out, Tom, it is a 5 furlonger. That's 1,000 meters. I wouldn't know that so quickly if they didn't put it on the internet. They're just going to run straight down this straightaway, Thomas. No turns, no nothing. Just open up the gates, see who's the fastest of the fast. Is there any positional advantage, whether you're closer to the middle or closer to the rail?
The problem is there are no other races like this. So it's really depending on, you got to look at condition as far as I'm concerned. And you hope the horse you pick on top takes the right path.
And gets out pretty quickly because those 5-meter races, you don't want to lag behind.
No,
well, let's find out.
If you get left, you may as well, forget it.
It could be over. Well, it looks like Skybird might as well just stay home because that one doesn't even want to start. They're going to let everybody, going to spot everybody, about 7, 8, 9 lengths. Let's see if it has the late speed to take advantage of that. They will be coming out pretty quickly, but it does look like Joyful Fortune has a little bit of an edge over the rest on that rail. So if the rail is the place to be with that early pace, you never know. All of the horses want to be middle forward. And yes, there you go. Skybird just back there running its own race, marching to its own drummer. So it's hoping that all of these just come out blazing. I would still, I would want Speed of the Speed, or I would want something that's going to sit right in this group here, let that handful burn themselves out, and have enough late kick to keep these folks at bay. The horse that looks like it has the most late kick is Skybird. I got a feeling it's going to be too far off the pace to get the job done. Maybe Benedetta, Stretton Angel, Switzerland, the favorite, right in that mix there too. Tom, who is going to be the one that when they put their nose on the line, gets there by this much first?
I would take number 6. I Am Me is my first choice. She's using a barrier trial to prepare for this race. They ran a good time, and she ran 4th in it. She's never won a Group 1, but she has placed 3 times. But this is her distance. 3 starts, 2 wins, and a placing. Her last start off a layoff before the layoff was at 1,300 meters. And she doesn't like that. The race before that, she ran the Everest, which is 1,200 meters. And that, we should note, is the richest sprint race in the world. So they must have thought something. And what I find really interesting, the horse that she beat last September, it won the Everest, and that was at this distance. So, and she's good first up. 6 starts, 4 wins, and 2 placings. I like those numbers.
Yes, as do I.
Number 2, Mornington Glory is going to be my next choice. It enters this race off a layoff. It was only won once first up, but he's got some placings. That was out of 5 starts. Ran okay last time out, 1,200 meters, Group 2. But I think with his preps, I think this makes more sense. And his record's pretty good. Did you see that record at the Citizens?
Highlighted it for a reason.
Yeah. So I think that makes him greater. I just think that if he runs, been running maybe runs a little longer, it's not what his distance is, and this is it. We'll put the favorite in there, which is number 11, Switzerland. Comes in also off a layoff and 2 barrier trials. I ran second one of them. His last start was a winning effort by 3 lengths at 1,200. He won a Group 2 races back. So, I mean, right up there. Is he an all or nothing horse? Yeah, I think so. And I had to put him in for my exactor, but in terms of win, is he going to win or is he going to do nothing?
Yep. Could be at the top of the medal stand, or it's going to be a spectator. We have a lot of same thoughts again, almost in the same order. We both started with the same one, I Am Me. So I don't know what this means tonight, Tom. These horses, if we are all on the same page, it's going to be odds dropping.
We're in big trouble.
Yes, indeed. They're all going to go off at 1 to 5 as the word gets out. I Am Me, as long as it remains good footing, that horse is going to be, I think, one at the top of the ticket. You pointed out, Tom, when it comes off the bench, comes off ready to go. 4 of them finishing in the winner's enclosure. Switzerland, I flipped those 2 around. Going to be the favorite, rightfully so, but I'm not sure. Is this a first up after 15 weeks or a second up? I'm leaning more towards first up, and that's perhaps its weakness. Number 2, Morning Glory, I highlighted for a reason. That 5 for 5 at the distance. I mean, really, if there's a horse for the distance at the course, that's this one. And it's performed pretty well at Flemington, too. 4 out of 5 in the money. You put it any other distance, just won twice in 17 tries. So 5 furlongs, or don't even bother putting that horse on the track, Thomas. Why, if you're an owner and you know the horse wins at 5 furlongs, why would you put it anywhere else?
We got fitness of the horse. Maybe use the longer races to get the horse fit.
Could be.
And how many 5 furlong races at $1 million Australian are out there?
Probably not many. Not many anywhere in the world.
There are a few, but not. I mean, the winner, Black Caviar, that was named. She was an unbelievable sprinter. And she also ran and won at Royal Ascot after getting herself some trouble initially.
Mm-hmm. Well, if there's going to be another one that it's, today or nothing, that's going to be Way to the Stars. First time up record. There you got it, Tom. 6 races, 4 of them hitting the tape first, the other 2 second or third. So 7 races that it's won in its career, 4 of them after some time in the barn. That's today, Tom. So this is a different sort of all or nothing for the Way to the Stars. All right, before we move off to our final race of the day, just a reminder, if you haven't done so already and you're watching on X, please follow us. If you have not done so already, our goal is to get to 10,000. Monday through Thursday, Terry and I usually get together for Parks on Monday and Tuesday, Gulfstream on Wednesday and Thursday. During the championship meet, as I mentioned already, Tom reporting to spring training next couple of weeks, so he won't be here. Will be no Foreign Friday. We'll vacation as well, except I'll be in the 2-degree weather while he's in the 72-degree weather. Lucky guy.
And I'll take that.
Yeah, it's almost a fair deal as long as I get the winning picks. Down there, you see all of our social sites. Kindly hit the subscribe button again every day. Over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, there are free tracks. There is a link wherever you found us where you can head on over there. The Risen Star, big racing tomorrow at the fairgrounds. We got it all covered. Make sure you take advantage of that. We had just an absolutely ginormous weekend last weekend at fairgrounds where we averaging now like $10,000 in potential payouts over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully, fingers crossed, mean, it'd be hard to follow up on that, but just be remotely close. And it'll be another successful weekend. Tom, the last race for you and I for 2 weeks. This is going to be race 9, the Desirable Stakes. Guess what distance they're going to run?
2,500 meters.
Yeah, 1,400 meters, Tom. 4 out of the 5.
Yeah, we had that theme last week, if you remember, at Shot 10.
Yeah, same distance over and over and over again. By now, if we haven't figured it out, we're never going to figure out the track bias, Tom. So let's take a look at what the folks at racenet.com project to be the early pace. I pressed the wrong button. Well, you got 2 of them out here by themselves. She nailed it. And then at 250 to 1 with that early speed advantage, that one should just be on your ticket just in case it gets out there and just fades into second or third at the end. Captured by Love. Could there be a more appropriately named horse for Valentine's Day, Thomas? I don't think so. As they make their way into the turn to come out, most of the really no true leader. Everybody kind of bunched up in the middle there. I would prefer a horse that's typically used to being in the middle with some late speed, and that one looks like a standout there. Macedon Rose from Australia, definitely the most late speed. Won't be that far off the pace. That could be a hard combination to overcome, Tom. Did that one make your picks?
No.
All right, well, maybe easy to overcome.
I started with number 1, Another Prophet. She's definitely the most accomplished horse in this field of 3-year-olds. She's a Group 1 winner at 1,600 meters. Last out, she sat 4th. On the turn, she moved forward and didn't finish. So after this layoff, she may have needed a race, and that's what I'm thinking. Distance, this is not her preferred distance, but I think based on that last race and the form and a little bit of class relief, I think she's going to be dangerous here. Number 4, Sneaky Sunrise, going to be my next choice. Has won twice at this distance, and guess what? These are her only wins. So obviously, yeah, okay. Other race, she ran a race in April last year. It was a listed race. She ran 7th, so similar type of race. She's had a long layoff. Her barrier trial was good. Good time, ran 2nd. Going to get a little bit of a price, and that's what I'm going for. Finally, I'm going to take number 10, Macedon Rose, as my final choice. Huge class up. No question about that. She's 2 for 2. And really interesting, her races were at 1,300 meters and 1,400 meters. And last time she went 5 wide. She was in the back of the field, went 5 wide and won by half a length. But the most telling comment was in there was she's had surgery not too long ago. And they had an inspection of her because of the surgery to make on her maiden start to make sure she was sound to run. Well, she's 2 for 2. I guess she's sound.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Well, now it's more like it, Thomas. Ordinarily, we're all over the place between you and I. I don't think we agreed on anything in this race. So that's a good sign. Qatar's choice. That's my choice. 3rd up for the first time in its career. So I find that is what I deem the finally healthy, finally fit angle. Fairly solid time and effort last time out. So I'm expecting that 3rd start off a layoff to be the best of the cycle and probably the best of its career. Husk, 17 to 1, the 7 horse. Next on my list, ran, get this, Tom, about 4 seconds faster last time out. How often do you see a horse run similar distances and then improve by 4 seconds? That's a rarity. And I do think, again, another sign that the horse is ready to roll. I had to go with did you go with Captured by Love or no?
Nope,
you
I did not.
I was going to say, I thought for sure we went the same. Hey, I got to go with the Valentine's theme right there. Captured by Love. Beckett, better in the 2nd start after a layoff. And this horse, 11 career races, in the money, 10 of 11. that is one that's
Yeah.
paying its
My
bills.
one concern with that horse is it's coming in from New Zealand.
Mm.
I just don't know where the form
How it
relates.
fits.
Yeah, that's why I passed on it.
Aren't New Zealand and Australia the same thing anyway? I'm sure they'd love that.
Not really.
All right. Number 5, Cap. This one's run 3 times, and I was trying to find reasons to say, you know what, I don't like any of those 3 races, but really not a bad race in any of the trio. So you got to give that one some consideration too. That wraps up our picks for the last time, Thomas, for a couple of weeks. When you do come back, is there anything that you're eyeballing? No, too far out.
Not too far out, but I will comment that the second or third, there's in March, there's Maidan, one of the preview for the upcoming Dubai World Cups, and of course the Saudi races are coming right up too.
That $20 million one?
The big race has lost all kinds of horses that are good. But Romantic Warrior is running in the turf race there. So it'll be interesting. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's running in the $2 million race. It's the $20 million race on the dirt. So it's first dirt start. I don't know. Deadly on the turf. I don't know about the dirt.
Well, it's kind of thick dirt there anyway, if I remember correctly. A lot of horses kind of
tired. It's very sandy.
Mm-hmm. And I know that a lot of tracks that have the turf, they have sand base, so maybe it might not be that big of a difference for those two. You never know.
Well, it's certainly a top-notch horse. There's no question about that.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll be covering that again Monday and Tuesday. Monday I'll be here. Tuesday Terry might be out, and Wednesday he's probably out. Thursday we'll be back for Gulfstream. We'll have a show no matter what every one of those days. Thomas, enjoy your trip to spring training. We look forward to you coming back. Any final words of wisdom that we'll have to hang on to for half a month before you return?
Well, I found the last race we did the most challenging. Those 3-year-olds. It's you've got one taking a giant class increase who's run well. And then you've got other ones that are coming in from other places, and it's a kind of a mixed bag. Figure it out. I think you did good.
Well, hopefully one of us figured it out because we're completely different on our picks. Well, no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, what you're trying to figure out, solve, whether you're chasing your dreams, just chasing a nap, we certainly hope that you have God's grace, God's favor, and everything we do together until we get back together again ends up in
the winner's enclosure.
Indeed. Enjoy your time away, Thomas. Thanks for joining us today. And as always, have a blessed weekend.